Hey everybody, and welcome to a playthrough video of World of Boar: Runes and Ruins, which is a spin-off, solo-only game set in the Skulk Hollow Maul Peak universe. And what's really cool about this is at the end of it, you're actually left with some cards that you can put into your Skulk Hollow or Maul Peak games. And I think this is a really interesting way to introduce legacy components to a game while having standalone experiences. So let's go ahead and get started and see what character we end up with. Alright, so here we are with the World of Boar Runes and Ruins box. You can see it's a pretty small little box of cards here. You can see it is one player, about 15 minutes long, of course made by pencil first. So let's go ahead and get this open. So you can see the cards here are all numbered 1 to 26 it looks like, or 28. And you have a couple cards here. So we're going to leave these all in order. We are going to pull the little punch board out. You can see World of Boar, a single-player adventure set between Skulk Hollow and Maul Peak. This deck is ordered. The number in the top left indicates the place that the card belongs in. Do not shuffle the deck, so we're not going to do that. You just kind of play through it in order. So let's get started. Initial setup. Take the 15 cubes from Skulk Hollow or Maul Peak box. These are your time cubes. Take the Tool Punch card, which is here. At the back of this deck, this has tools on it which you may acquire as you play. When a card tells you to gain a tool, you punch it out of the card. Get a pen or pencil, as you will need to write on some of the cards, and a coin to scratch off portions of the cards. This is the next card icon. When you see this, read the next card. In the little trash can, place this in front of you with this side up. It will be your trash pile. When you see a trash icon, you'll put that card in this pile. You will no longer need it. Then read the next card. You can always look at the cards that are in your trash if you'd like. Okay? So this is going to be our little trash that we'll put on the side here. And all right, I'll be right back. Let me get a pencil and a scratch off real quick. All right, so we're back here. We've retrieved all the components we'll need. We have 15 cubes here from our Skulk Hollow box. If you choose to play the standalone, you could use anything to track the time cubes. We have a little scratcher, courtesy of the New Jersey Lottery, and we have a pen here. So let's continue on here with our setup. So here, your journey begins. In this game, you play a Foxen explorer, an expert in ancient runes seeking the origins of the Titanic Guardians. Your research has become more dangerous over time as you've tried to get closer and closer to the Guardians themselves. You've even witnessed some of their attacks firsthand. Recently, your time at Skulk Hollow convinced you that you should be doing more than just watching folks fighting the Guardians. You should be helping. You've heard Guardians have been sighted at Maul Peak, and you feel it's your duty to share your knowledge of the Guardians with the Grizzar living there. Perhaps something you know will help the Grizzar defeat the Guardians they are sure to encounter. You intend to visit your friend Badu, a Pandalo scholar, on your way to Maul Peak, since he is leading an archaeological dig at the base of the mountain. During your journey, you must choose how your Foxen reacts to each event you encounter. Your decisions will determine your Foxen's personality, special ability, and how you are remembered. So this is set in between Skulk Hollow and Maul Peak, so that's kind of the setting we have here. We have the next card. You examine your map and your planned route through the encampment and up to Maul Peak. Perhaps you should have taken better care of your map. Below is a rules box. In a rules box, you will find instructions on how to continue your adventure. When you see a rules box, read carefully. The next card in the deck is your character card. This is your Foxen you will play for this adventure. Decide on a name and then write it on the line with the name. You fill in the title line at the end of your adventure. Once you have named your Foxen, place your character card on the table in front of you to the right of your trash pile. The other side of this card and the front of card number 4 are personality cards. Personality cards track your Foxen's character development over the adventure. Your decisions will determine how much of each personality trait develops. Flip this card over and place it in front of you below the Foxen. Then read card number 4 titled Compassion. Alright, so you can see here this is Wisdom. You're supposed to see your friend Bado at his dig site before climbing Maul Peak. Maybe you'll learn something there. Whenever you make a discovery, scratch off any one area below to learn something. So we'll put that over here. Next up is our actual Arctic Fox, so name and then the title we'll get at the end. So what do we want to name? What's a good Arctic Fox name? That is a tricky one there. Snowy, no, that's too on the nose. What is a scholarly name? Let's call him Fleet. Let's name him Fleet. I like fleet foxes and he's a fox, so we're gonna go with Fleet. All right, his name is Fleet, there we go. So we're gonna put Fleet over here below our discard. Compassion. As you help other folks, you will gain +1 compassion. When this happens, use your coin to scratch off the next area of the heart below. Right now, scratch off the area marked 0 at the bottom of the heart. So we're gonna use our little scratching tool here and scratch this off, which is just the kind of that's the first tier of the heart there. We're a bit heartless. Place this card in front of you beside the wisdom card facing up. Do not flip until instructed to do so. So we're gonna go ahead and put that next to our wisdom card. Heading to Maul Peak, your character will be measured by your choices. When you finish the game, the time you have left will determine how quickly you arrive at Maul Peak and how strong your sense of duty is. The amount of heart you has grown is how compassionate you are. The guardian information you discover will be shown as wisdom. So those are our kind of 3 things we're trying to track there. Put this card in front of you beside the compassion card. Do not flip over until instructed to do so. So we will put our sense of duty here on next to our other 2 traits. The other side of this card is an hourglass. It will be used to keep track of how many time cubes you have spent during your adventure. The more time you have left at the end of the game, the sooner you will arrive at Maul Peak to fulfill your duty to protect the land. Once you flip this card over and place it in front of you, place the time cubes on the top portion of the hourglass. Your play area should look like this. Look like the diagram below after placing this card in your play area. All right, so let's, now that we have everything kind of laid out, let's actually get it. So this is our discard. This is our Fleet Fox here. Our time is gonna go here, the play deck will go there, and at the bottom here we'll put our 3 other cards. So this is gonna be that here. So discard character, we're gonna put our time cubes up here. So we got 15 time cubes. All right, when you spend time, move time cubes from the top of the hourglass to the bottom. And then our actual play deck will go kind of right here on the side. All right, we're all set up here. The front of each card will have up to 3 actions. To the left of the description of each action is its cost. You will choose one of the options, pay the cost, then flip the card over and scratch the outcome box that matches the option you picked. For example, the red action below costs 0 time, so you will not have to spend any time cubes to select it. So you can see there's some art there of our camp, and then begin your adventure. Scratch the red swirl. Okay, so we're gonna flip this over. And you can see on this card, there's a little bit of a red swirl and then like a little blue diamond thing. So we're gonna go ahead and scratch off the red swirl. And I will say this is a pretty easy, smooth scratch off here. I know sometimes lottery tickets, you're like tearing through the cards to actually get to anything. So let's go ahead and scratch this off. Oof, it might be 15 minutes of playtime, but it is going to be way longer. Takes a minute to scratch these guys off. So there's our scratched card. Outcome boxes will describe the outcomes of the action you selected. Bold text at the end of an outcome is the rules text that tells you what to do next. Scratch off and read the blue outcome box below. So the little result there at the bottom, it's telling us to scratch the blue off. Yeah, we'll get a system down. You gotta get the flow of scratching off, but it is fun. Oof, I'm gonna have to vacuum up after this though. Okay, some outcomes will tell you to claim a card as your journal page. To do so, tuck the card under your character so that the journal entry is visible along the left side. See below. Journal pages you collect can shape future decisions in the game. You start your day by refilling your canteen with fresh water. Claim the journal page, then read the next card. Journal entries have these icons, okay? So we're gonna take this journal entry, which is our canteen of water, and kind of tuck it underneath our character just to show that we have access to that. Leaving camp. Packing up your camp, you consider what you will say to Bado when you meet him later the day. Suddenly, a Foxen cub comes tearing out of the woods. Seeing you, he collapses at your feet and bursts into tears. The blue action below costs 1 time cube and a journal page icon. If you choose this, pay the cost. Move 1 time cube from the top of your hourglass to the bottom and move the journal page with the matching icon to the trash pile. So we'll be spending the canteen if we want to do this. So the two options, kneel down and look at the young paw in the eye, asking, "What's wrong, pup?" Or the other action, offer the young paw your full canteen. All right, since we are not monsters, we are going to offer the young paw our canteen. So we're gonna spend 1 time cube, and then we're gonna discard the journal page with the canteen. Then we'll flip this over. Remember to only scratch off and read the outcome box that matches the action on the front of the card you chose. If there is a trash icon in the bottom right corner of the outcome box, after you finish reading it, follow the rules and then put it in your trash area. So you can see we did the blue action, so we are going to scratch off the blue area. The young paw gratefully takes the water and drinks most of it before gasping, "My pop, please come help my pop." +1 compassion, color in the row of your heart where there is the number 1. I gotta imagine how many people who played this are confronted with a child and like, no water for you. Okay, so this has a progression icon and a trash it, so we're gonna get rid of that. As you pack your things, you can see the cub is growing more frantic with worry. You won't be of any use to his paw if you forget something useful though, so you ignore the cub and focus on your task at hand. You have packed more carefully ever since you couldn't find your gloves during that guardian battle near Sunpaw. Some actions feature the mandatory icon. If you can pay the cost of any action marked with this icon, you must choose this option. If you can't pay the cost of a mandatory option, you can instead choose one of the other options. So we must gather our things, which is the red swirl. You shoulder your pack, pulling out your heavy gloves first. If there's trouble ahead, they'll protect your paws. Punch out and gain the gloves tool. So we can pull out our tool here and we have our glove, so we're gonna punch this out. I guess just stick it off to the side for now. When you're instructed to gain a token, find the matching token on the punch card. Punch it out and place it on your character card. These tokens are tools. Tools that you find in your adventure are used in dig puzzles. So I'm guessing that will make sense soon. Packed and ready to go, you tell the kid to lead you to his paw. He races into the woods ahead of you. Remember, you must do the mandatory icon first if you can pay their cost. In this case, the cost of the red option is 0 time, which you can pay. So the mandatory option is hurry along beside the cub and say, "Explain what happened." Then focus on your footing so you can keep, okay, we have to do the mandatory first, so. Some outcomes instruct you to flip the card back over and choose another option. When you do this, turn your card over and pick an option that you haven't picked already. If the card says you may flip, you can choose to do that, or you can choose to put the card in the trash and move on to the next one. If it says must, you must flip the card and choose a different option. You can't choose the same option twice. Okay. We are getting real efficient at scratching things off. We were taking supplies to the dig and Pa was out behind the wagon when a giant monster stepped on it. You gotta hurry. I wasn't strong enough to lift him off of it. You must flip this card over and choose another option. You hurry through the woods and emerge on a rough road. Trees have been knocked aside and massive holes in the ground form giant footsteps. You recognize the signs. A guardian passed through here. Destroyed wagon. The young paw points to the destroyed wagon in the center of a giant footprint and whimpers. "Please, my pa. This is where we were when the monster came. We gotta find him." Dig site puzzle rules. The next card is a dig puzzle. A dig puzzle is a scratch-off challenge. The information you need to solve a dig puzzle is often found in the story leading up to it or events you already encountered. Be sure to pay close attention to the story so you can have the best chance to solve these puzzles. You get to scratch off one area for each tool token you have. You scratch areas on the front of the card to reveal icons. Then, when you are done scratching, flip the card and scratch the boxes matching the icons you revealed. You keep all of your tools after a dig puzzle. You only have one tool right now. When you're ready, put this card in your trash and scratch one area on the front of the next card. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So this is the kind of 3 areas you can dig off. So there's kind of one on the top, one in the middle of the wagon, and then one like a bush or something. I can't quite tell what that is. But we know he's trapped under the wagon, so I'm gonna make a educated guess and say that he's in the middle spot here. Is a star icon underneath the wagon. So we're gonna flip this over, and you can see there's the different options depending on which one you revealed, the red swirl, the blue star, or the little green star. And of course we had the green, so we're gonna go ahead and reveal that, and hopefully we find the dad. You find the merchant under his destroyed cart and dig him out. Thank you, he groans. It was gigantic. It came out of nowhere. It was heading towards the dig? +1 compassion. So we're gonna go over to our compassion card, scratch off the next level. All right, good. We are becoming more and more empathetic here. Quick thing, I did move a second cube when we had to watch our footing. I almost forgot to do that. Okay, the young paw and his father seem well enough, and your duty calls you towards Maul Peak. Between you and your ultimate destination is the dig site, and your friend Bado wanted to stop by. The trail of shattered trees leads in the direction of the dig site. With a sinking feeling, you follow it towards a plume of smoke rising in the distance. The road ahead curves around the tall hill. The tutorial is now complete. Remember, your decisions determine your Foxen's character. Here we go. So, option 1, climb the hill to get a better view of what's ahead. Or, stay on the road. It's a waste of time to climb the hill. You already know what kind of carnage a guardian leaves behind. I'm gonna go with that. It seems like a little bit of a waste of time to climb the hill. This is a long card. Having seen what guardians can do, you hurry towards the dig site, expecting the worst. As you get around the hill, the dig site comes into view and your fears are confirmed. All of the tents, huts, and cabins are heavily damaged, and there's debris everywhere you look. Just ahead, you see what must be a signal fire. You head that way, quietly hoping that Bado survived the guardian attack. You surveyed the village from afar, oh, dang it! So you could see, I guess we would have gotten the telescope, we would have gotten a journal page if we had, but we didn't. So we're gonna move on. Archaeologist Outposts. As you approach the signal fire, you find Foxen guard looking up towards Maul Peak. Behind her, the signal fire is nearly burnt out. She hasn't noticed you. Leave her be. She doesn't seem to need help, and there is no need to waste time on trivial matters. Take a stick from her woodpile when she isn't looking, then head to the outpost. Or offer her to tend the fire. I don't want to take a stick necessarily, but it could be useful. Offer to help her tend the fire. I feel like we should really commit to one type of Foxen though. And if we're gonna go compassion, that's gonna be tending the fire, I think. Let's help her out. Let's tend the fire here. This is gonna be the bottom. The guard thanks you for your assistance. It's too late for us, but we can warn the warriors on the peak. +1 compassion. Let's go ahead and get compassion tier 3. Although we are a scholar, I feel like I want to maybe do some more scholarly things when we get the chance, but we'll see how things pan out. Yes, we had to pay 1 time for helping her. Just inside the outpost of Bahir, just outside the outpost, a Bahir healer is on his knees trying to salvage herbs from what's left of the destroyed garden. Forced. Tell the healer about the injured merchant up the road. But we did save the father earlier, so we don't need to resolve that action. Ask the healer to join you so they might help any small folk you meet. Ask the healer what happened. You know, I'm gonna just ask the healer. We just spent time helping with the fire. We are gonna do green there. I woke up to my hut shaking. I thought the cliff was going to collapse again, but it was footsteps, a guardian. You may flip this card back and choose another option. Otherwise, trash. No. Let's keep moving on. We're not gonna spend any time. I thought it was interesting, the Bahir. I haven't come across that. I wonder if that sounds like a rabbit race though. Heading further into the outpost, you find a destroyed cabin, shattered when a guardian speared it with thrown trees. 2 large Grizzar are using a branch to lever up a piece of broken wall. One says, "We've just uncovered something big in the dig," but ran back to the outpost when we heard the guard horn. The rookie ran faster than us old-timers could, and she made it to our cabin first, just as the trees started raining down on it. Help us to get her out. The older one roars at you impatiently. Are you going to stand there? Help us! Dig site rules. The next card is a dig puzzle. Remember that you can scratch off a number of boxes equal to the number of tool tokens you have. And we still only have 1 tool right now. Not up here. I don't think it's this one. I think it might be this one or this lower one. Or it could be the center one if it's trapped in there. I'm gonna go with this center one. I just have a feeling. That probably was wrong. Oops, that might be wrong. Let's find out. It's the green star. Hey, there we go. You found the rookie! Good deal. Once you have finished digging, scratch off the box below on what it read above, if you found the rookie. Both Grizzar embrace the rookie +1 compassion. Whew! We are just an everyday hero out here. That was a tricky one though. I don't know. I really am curious if any of these other ones give you another shot or what. You leave the Grizzar and continue on. Down the path, scraps of parchment are being scattered by the wind. One whips by your face and you notice the pages full of pre-Guardian runes you've studied for so long. Foxen scholar is chasing the pages. My research, he cries. Help the scholar chase down the pages, grab a page out of the air and read it, or ask the Foxen about his research. You know, I do want to get some wisdom. I feel like we're not super wise right now, so I'm going to spend the time here and help the scholar chase down the pages, and maybe we can get some good information from them. You see drawings of a strange box and some ancient pre-Guardian runes you recognize, before the scholar snatches the pages without thanking you. Hey, +1 compassion. Dang it! I was hoping we were going to be able to read them. I guess I should have snatched it instead of helping. We are very steadily going up this compassion tree, I guess. So let's go ahead and leave that researcher behind. Thankless work we do. Further into the outpost, you find more giant footprints which you stop to investigate. Each print has the same massive depth and width of the ones you saw near the destroyed cart near the merchant you met earlier. This must be the same Guardian and it must be huge. Following the prints leads you to evidence of a battle between the outpost guards and the attacking Guardian. Destroyed buildings, toppled trees, and many bodies block the path ahead. You worry about your friend Bado. Hopefully, the Pandalo scholar is still alive, unlike the guards laying around. So forced, you may find okay, we don't have the telescope because we didn't scout earlier. So now we're forced to spend 3 time here to climb through the wreckage, which is very unfortunate. So that one time we saved earlier actually became a 3 time cost. This is a big old box. You see some of the outpost's fallen defenders as you slowly make your way through the fallen logs and tumbled stones of their fallen defenses. But you also see enormous hunks of melting ice floating in pools of smelly green ichor, and shredded tufts of fur larger than tapestries. The Guardian paid a heavy price for attacking the dig, and the outpost guards paid a heavy price to stop it. A Foxen guard in leather armor is sitting with her back against a boulder. She's using her belt as a sling for her injured arm and is awkwardly trying to wrap a bandage around her head. Let the healer assist the guard. We should clean the wound, or let me help you bandage that. So we're gonna have to spend the time to help her bandage because we don't have the healer, which is the green box here. She looks over to you and sighs. We should have had more scouts like you on patrol. We might have had more warning. +1 compassion. So we are just 2 tiers off the compassion, but we haven't found anything else, which is a little disconcerting. We're making people happy. Next up, beyond the guard and just outside a cave in the side of Maul Peak, you see a large tent. The braziers that lit the outside have been knocked over by large chunks of ice. The canvas of one side of the tent has caught fire. You can see the interior wall of the other side is covered with notes and drawings from the dig. Search for useful supplies, quickly inspect the notes and drawings, gather the papers off the walls of the tent. I'm not going to lose my chance at a discovery. We're going to spend 1 time and get those papers. We're going to get that. We have been left in the dark for too long. Watch it just be someone's doodles or something totally useless. You quickly gather the papers off the walls as the heat builds behind you, dodging outside just as the burning support collapses and brings the tent down with it. Claim this journal page. And this is, you pack away the signed pages you rescued from the tent, or the singed pages you rescued from the tent. All right, sweet, we're at the dig site finally. You enter the dig, a cave hidden inside the base of Maul Peak. Dirt and dust is falling from above. It's only a matter of time before there's a cave-in. Large crystals are laid out on nearby tables, and you can hear a voice coming from deeper inside the cave. Hurry towards the voice. Whoever's in here has to get out. Study the crystals before heading deeper into the cave. Man, they really make you feel heartless if you don't go for the compassionate. Oh man, but I want to do some studying. We've helped a lot of people. This is a little mean. We're gonna take one time and we're gonna do the studying. Can we just like yell? Can we yell really loudly and maybe try to get them out? Although maybe yelling might cause worse things to happen. You've seen these kind of enormous crystal bones before in your travels. The scholars working here have pieced the ones they found together into an enormous hand, bigger than even a guardian's. Make a discovery. So we can go over to discovery here. Whenever you make a discovery, scratch off any one area below to learn something. Let's go with the second one. I don't think it matters. There's no way for us to know what's here. So let's see what discovery we got. The tale of those attacked by Veblen must be heard. Beware its webs and be prepared for doom. You have earned the title. Careful. Okay. We are Fleet the Careful. That's not the most intimidating title, but I think we have been pretty careful so far. Dirt and debris rain down from the two giant crystal bones protruding from the ceiling. You finally make your way to your friend Bado, desperately working to clear rocks that are blocking the entrance to a tunnel. The young Pandalo's white fur is gray with dust. He turns to you with a wild look in his eyes. We just discovered this blocked passage when we heard of the first Guardian's roar. Almost as if it knew we were close to finding something. What's in here? What did the Guardian want it? We have to know. Drag Bado out of the cave for his own good. Calmly offer to help your friend. No, friends do not let friends get caved in to creepy dig sites. We're gonna spend one time and drag him out of there. He's not gonna be happy. When someone has a crazed look in their eye, sometimes you gotta take some latitude as their friend to help them. We can't leave, he screams as you drag him from the blocked tunnel entrance. These chambers are older than the Guardians. We must know what's inside. But as the scaffolding creaks and the walls of the chamber groan, you force him back towards the cave entrance. +1 compassion. Yeah, that, I don't know. We spent the whole game trying to get to Bado, or Badu. I guess I don't know how to say that name. We're not gonna let him be lost to this cave trying to do this discovery. As Badu leaves, the robed Foxen scholar runs into the chamber and crouches in front of the blocked passage. He peers into a gap in the rocks that Bado cleared. I see something. It's glowing, he exclaims. If only someone could squeeze through here and get inside. Force, the archaeologist recognizes you from before. He does not. Hand over the pages you saved in the fire. Send the archaeologist to safety while you investigate. Ooh, we got this. Let's hand over our paper here that we had saved from the fire, which is going to give us the blue box. Thank you for saving my private notes, he points to the crack. These notes have, Thank you for saving my private notes, he points to the crack. These notes have to get to safety, and I'm too old to crawl into that hole, but you must. Go, find out what's inside before this whole mountain comes down. +1 compassion. Okay, that's gonna be the max of our compassion track. We are a very loving character, apparently. All right, let's get into this cave. You squeeze into the gap. It's very tight, but you're able to crawl through the rocks and emerge in a chamber. As you get to your feet, you see the source of the glow the Foxen scholar described. Illuminating the chamber are 5 glowing crystals, each set atop a pedestal. The glow of the crystal allows you to see the runes etched into the wall. Your expertise in pre-Guardian runes allows you to read the inscription. Everyone holds a power inside, but you may choose only one. Place your hand upon a crystal for a gift. The others you shall lose. You can see more runes etched into the floor, perhaps clues about which crystal might hold the greatest power of them all. Most of the writing is blocked by rocks and debris that have fallen. As you start digging, the cave walls rumble and more rocks fall around you. On the other side of this card are clues for the dig puzzle on the next card. Unlike the other puzzles this time, you only get to use your tools to scratch off the clues. Flip the card and scratch off 1 clue for each tool you have. Afterwards, look at the next card and scratch off 1 area before flipping it over. And we unfortunately still only have one tool still. Let's go for, I'm gonna get one clue here. Let's go for the third one, the third one. The markings are strange, but definitely not odd. Choose the crystal you want to touch by scratching off the circle above it. You may only pick one. Then flip the card over and scratch off the box that matches the related symbol. We don't have a lot to go off here. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I'm trying to wonder what is this trying to say? The markings are strange, but definitely not odd. You know what? We're gonna take number 4. We're gonna take number 4? Number 2? Number 4? Let's take number 2. I'm not sure what else I could have done to determine it. We just didn't have the tools. All right, we get red swirl. You put your paws on the crystal and they all suddenly vanish. You notice some carvings of guardians on the top of the pedestal and an etching that reads, "After they finished their work, their makers had them rest." You ponder this as you hurry before the cave collapses. Make one discovery. All right, let's go over to our wisdom board here and make a discovery. Let's do the bottom one, why not? Those who have faced Quagra speak of chaotic madness. Careful tactics might control that confusion and give a hope of victory. You have earned the title Sharp. Well, I like that title more than Careful, so I'll take it. Gosh, we've gotten a lot of dust in this area as we've been scratching. Rocks rain down on you as you race towards the cave entrance. There's a moment of panic when you see most of the entrance is now blocked by freshly fallen rocks. You run and dive out of the mouth of the cave moments before it collapses. Your friend Badu helps you to your feet and asks you what you found in the cave. You begin to share your discoveries with him when you notice a trail of shattered trees leading up the slope of the mountain, towards the cliffs above. You realize that after destroying the outposts, the Guardian's instincts are leading them towards the next nearest prey, the Grizzar on Maul Peak, that you intended to share your research with. You quickly say goodbye to Badu and begin to trek up the mountain. You have to help, if it isn't already too late. Flip this card over and read the end of the adventure. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. On the front of the card, number 28, the ability card, are 3 scratch-off boxes. Follow all of the instructions on this card, then scratch off one of these to unlock a unique ability. Flip over and scratch the appropriate box on the back of the compassion card. Then do the same to the heading to Maul Peak card. All right, so we have our compassion card here. So you could see if we had 0 to 2, 3 to 7, or 8, and we had 8, so we are gonna scratch off the bottom compassion slot. You go out of your way to help small folk in need. You have earned the title Valiant. Scratch the top ability box only on card 28. So flip over the compassion card, we did that, then do the same on the heading to Maul Peak card. So this is heading to Maul Peak, so we're gonna flip this over. Endgame only, scratch the box that corresponds with the number of time cubes we have left. And we have 4, so we just barely got to the mid-tier here, which is pretty nice. I'll gladly take that. So here, our reward for our time management. You hurry along the Guardian's trail, sparing a moment to share your findings with the scholars. You arrive just in time to join the battle. You have earned the title Loyal. Then after doing that, if you have not scratched any boxes on the front of the ability card, scratch the middle box. Okay, so we have this ability. Here is to scratch the top ability. So we're gonna get the top ability because of our compassion. So we have Pierce. After you deal a wound to a Guardian location, deal another wound to any Guardian location. And Blight. Place the Blight token in any ground space except the keep or layer space. From now on, at the end of the hero player's turn, each hero unit in that ground space receives 1 wound. And by the way, the Blight was on the token. This is that middle one here. So this is going to be used with this character, which is cool. All right, so we did our abilities. What's next? On your Wisdom card, cards tucked under it, and your Heading to Maul Peak card, you may have unlocked titles. These are possible ways your adventure will be remembered. Choose one and write it on the title line in your character card. This one feels a little obvious, but we're gonna go with Valiant. That one sounds the coolest, I think. Fleet, shouldn't have used the gel pen. Fleet the Valiant. My second choice probably would have been the Loyal or the Sharp. Fleet the Sharp, that sounds cool too. Finally, put your character card, the ability card, and the relic card, final card in the deck, into the Maul Peak or Skulk Hollow game box. The back of the ability card, number 28, has Arctic Fox rules. The Ruins and Ruins adventure is now over. Fleet the Valiant, and that will go into our game. We need the ability card, and you can see on the back of the ability card here, it has instructions on how to integrate that into the game. Here are the crystal relics, so this is what we found in the cave, so that's cool that that gets added into the game. So these two have the card backs with the expansions on them. So that ends the adventure of Fleet the Valiant. We're going to put all three of these cards and this token into our main game, and that brings this to a close. So I want to play with this custom character before kind of giving final thoughts, but I thought this was a fun little choose your adventure little thing. I enjoyed this. What did you guys think? Were there any choices that you would have done differently? If you end up playing this, let me know what your Arctic Fox and title is. I'm curious to know what you guys would have done differently. So I want to do a little review and thoughts video on this, but I actually want to play with this in the main game first and see how well it all integrates together first. But if you guys were enjoying this, I would love, consider liking and subscribing. This is the first time I've tried to do a playthrough video like this, so I'd love some feedback. I tried to set up the camera as stable as I could, but I would love to hear what you guys think about it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more videos like this. I also have a Twitter and Instagram where I post thoughts and photos of games I'm playing throughout the week, and I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.